Here we go.
All right. Hi, everybody. I got my friend Billy Mays here, and he's got some exciting news that I am wanting to hear more about. Can you tell me what you've been working on?
Yeah, I have an album coming out tomorrow. It's called Holy Noise. It is 36 songs and it's 9 hours long of just ambient music, meditative kind of textural music, and it's all live. It was all done um, as improvisations on my live streams on Twitch from 2021 to 2023. I did a lot of live streaming. And usually at the end of my streams that were about 3 hours long, the last 20 to 30 minutes would be very meditative and I would just kind of like wind it down. And at some point, I started collecting the audio of those, and posting it to my Patreon every week. And so finally, looking back, I was like, wow, there's some good stuff here. And there were a lot of these songs, and I ended up curating. It ended up being 36 of them, and I sequenced them and I finished them and made them more listenable. And um, if anything was weird in the live version, I kind of was able to clean it up a little bit in the mix, and it's finally coming out.
Yay. Was there anything that inspired you to do that specifically, to create this album in such a way? Or you just felt the call?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to put them out, but I've put out a lot of just like random stuff over the years, and I didn't really decide to put it out until it's kind of funny. The I think what made me put it out was sort of defiance. Like every time I would see something that's like, here's why as a musician you should be sharing 20-second clips of your songs, and or every song in the Billboard charts is like under 2.5 minutes, like stuff like that. Like anytime I would read something like that, I would just get this like ugh. And so I started to think like, what if I just like did the opposite of that and just released the longest thing possible that would not hold anyone's attention, that doesn't really want to listen to it. And ambient drone music in itself is not the most accessible thing that people turn on at any given time, but I love it and I love to make it. And it creates this sort of like background texture for people. So I thought, all right, I'm going to lay these out. It happened to come out to 9 hours, like right around 9 hours. And then I ended up trimming one of the songs down. I got it down to 9 hours and 3 minutes long. And that was what we settled on. And that was done. And I just feel like it's funny to tell people that I put out a 9 hour album just
I love
because,
that.
it's not, it just doesn't seem like a smart business move or anything like
Well, it's
that.
unique. It's unique and it's creative. And as an artist, I'm excited to put it on in the studio and not have to like think about my playlist. I'm just going to be able to hang out with you all day. Like you're serenading the studio and it's going to be great. So where and when does this, when, how can we find it?
Yeah, it's been up on Bandcamp as a pre-order for the last couple of weeks, and I have the most pre-orders I've ever gotten for one of my releases ever. So that's been cool because it's only $5 on Bandcamp for 9 hours of music, and like three of the songs have been available there. The first three songs, but tomorrow on the 23rd, it's available everywhere. It'll be on Spotify and Apple Music and I don't know, Amazon, Tidal, whatever those are. Um, and it'll be interesting to see like what happens because you can track listens and all that. I hope people will put it on while they sleep and just like leave it running. Um, it'll be interesting to see if any of these ambient songs make it onto a sleep playlist or meditation playlists and stuff like that. Some of the songs are like a good amount of the songs are 20 minutes long, 20 plus minutes. One of them is I think 40 minutes. Like the
Wow.
last song is 40 minutes, and then some are like 7 minutes. It kind of varies, and they all have their own little. Um, they're they all kind of blend together, but they're all different enough. They have different things going on in them, even though they're primarily guitar based. Um, there's some that are way more just like uh, way less intrusive and just not much happens, just droning on. And then there's some where I'm like playing guitar and it's things are happening and melodies and stuff like that. So I did a free listening party actually, an early listening party on February 2nd, and we had a good amount of people in there on Bandcamp. They let you do a listening party where it just plays the songs and there's a chat. And I got a lot of good feedback, and it was cool to finally play it as as a whole for people. And it made me really excited for when it'll be public. And I'm putting together some visual components for it too. So, you know, I will end up putting out 20-second TikTok clips, but it's kind of the last thing I thought about.
Yeah, I see. Well, that's really awesome, and I'm excited for everybody that's tuned in to have that insight that it comes out tomorrow. And I'm gonna go check out the Bandcamp. You said you can listen to like two of the songs there now
Yep.
if you get the pre-order.
The first three songs you can just play on there without pre-ordering, or if you pre-order, you get to download them. You know, whatever. I don't know if people still download music, but apparently some people do because
Ooh.
they're buying it.
I wonder if that's something we could do during the after party is go check out your preview so we can hype up your new album.
Yeah, that'd be great. That would be
Awesome.
cool.
For those that don't know, Billy was part of Shine Online last year too, and we did a really great discussion on Patreon and the importance of supporting your different creative friends through Patreon or whatever their subscription platform is, because being a creative is sometimes hard. I don't want to say it's a struggle because it's like natural for a lot of us, but it is like important to keep that motivation going from outside sources. Before I let you hop off, what's one piece of advice you would have for somebody that is trying to stay inspired with their dream and bring it to life?
Damn. Find
Sorry.
something, find something simple that you can commit to and have discipline with and be consistent with, and do that even when you don't feel like doing that. Because it's
Mm,
easy to just work on your creativity when you're inspired or you feel you have the energy, but it's another thing to have something that you're kind of like in the habit of doing, whether you're inspired or not. And I think that really helps get you through the times when you're not inspired. And it kind of shakes you out of it sometimes to have something that like you have to do. I mean, and not everyone responds to that well. So I'm not saying that works for everyone, but for me, it it's for instance, this album, as I would release these songs in the early form on my Patreon every week, it became my people expect because I promise a Wednesday morning new music post. It became like, all right, well, this is doing the work. I have to do the work anyway for my Patreon subscribers. So all that work I did ended up being work that was done for me already on the album that I wanted to put out. So I didn't know that until later, but that's sometimes how it works is you commit to something and it becomes more important than you think.
wow. Yeah, it's the lesson I've been learning from so many of my friends is consistency. It's powerful. It goes a long way, and sometimes you got to do it even if you're not feeling it, but if it's something you really want, you got to just keep going. So
Mm-hmm.
thanks for driving that home. Is there anything else you feel like sharing today?
No, I think that's it. I appreciate you letting me talk about the album because it was fun to remember why I made it in the first place. Um,
Yay! Well, this has been great. Thanks for shining on with me, and I hope people go check it out.
yeah,
Good luck.
thanks. Thanks, everybody. Bye.